What is cake flour and why use it? Lucky or unlucky for you, cake flour is not a scam. It does actually provide a chemical difference when it comes to using all-purpose flour or cake flour. I'm going to explain the actual practical uses for when, maybe, in my opinion, when you should and should not use cake flour, what it is, why it works, how it works, and then offer a simple DIY solution at home if you don't feel like buying cake flour or you don't have cake flour in stores near you. What is cake flour to begin with? Cake flour is a type of flour that's commonly used with baked goods that's structurally different than all-purpose flour and bread flour in terms of lower protein content. So think of it like this. Whenever you're working with wheat flour and you're mixing, you're adding all the stuff into it to make your finished final good, what's naturally going to happen is gluten will form. What is gluten? The easiest way to think of it is whenever you're eating bread and you bite down and it's like, this is so chewy and has such a good bite to it, that's gluten. So the opposite of something being chewy and having a good bite is what you would want cake to be, hence cake flour. You would use cake flour whenever you're making the most traditional, stereotypical birthday cake-esque, light, fluffy, soft, this is so good, it basically melts in your mouth, cake. And that's also the difference between high gluten and low gluten. The reason why cake flour exists is because it's a different type of flour made in a very different way, usually with a different strain of wheat. I'm not going to get too into it because otherwise I just get a little bit too granular, but you use soft wheat that's very finely milled and usually has things done to it like bleaching and things like that, and it doesn't develop gluten as easily, which for you will yield lighter, fluffier cakes and things that you make with it. You want to use cake flour when you want it to be really soft, really, really tender, and the cake crumb, you want it to be really small. If you don't want to chew it, you want to use cake flour. That's that. So let's talk application. I think this is especially useful for someone who does cook and bake a lot, because I do it for work and that's why you are here, but not so much where I'm a professional baker or a professional chef. So I think I still have that good middle ground. Here are the things that I think that are worth it to use cake flour in. One, I think it's super worthwhile to use cake flour when you are making a cake from scratch, every single thing from scratch for you, yourself, or a loved one, especially if the cake itself is usually like a pretty purist cake. So a vanilla forward cake with fresh fruit and just some whipped cream, something like that. I think especially then when there aren't that many competing flavors, when there aren't that many components to the cake to detract from the main thing, which is, the cake itself, that's when you really, really want to be specific about what you use. For example, angel food cake, right? If it's literally just the cake and the strawberries and the whipped cream, give it a fighting chance. Maybe use some cake flour on that. That's when I would go out of my way to buy cake flour. I would bundle this with the last point, which is making cake from scratch. But if you're making cake for someone else, even if it's not just like a vanilla basic purist cake and it's like a chocolate cake or like a strawberry cake or whatever cake they like for their birthday that you want to celebrate because you love them, just get the cake flour. Some cookies might need cake flour. Very few, but the only ones I can kind of think of are those crinkle cookies or any really cakey cookie. Those types of grocery store cookies that have the super vivid color of frosting on the top with the sprinkles and basically melt whenever you're even just breaking it open. I think they're called Loft House cookies, but I just call them grocery store sugar cookies. That kind of cookie, you should try to use cake flour. So using that information and that kind of like tactile feeling, any kind of cookie that you make that's similar to that you would want to replicate that same feeling of, you should aim to use cake flour. But I don't know, hot take, I really don't like those cookies. They're a lot. Something that I've personally experienced before is a crepe cake. I'm begging you, if you're trying to make a crepe cake at home, one, shockingly difficult, okay? Shockingly difficult. If you're going to make a crepe cake at home, go and get the cake flour. Oh my God, I made it. I spent hours making it. It was such a labor of love. And then when I went in with my fork, oh my God, it was rock hard. All of the filling squeezed out of the sides. And I was like, oh, I should have just bought cake flour. It's fine. Lastly, and this is my running theory, I think that a lot of the pancakes that you get from classic diners, places that you go and it's like really high and really fluffy and like super tender melt in your mouth, I think that those places use cake flour or like their version of cake flour, because whenever I make pancakes at home, they never turn out that well unless I make it from the box. I have fully given up on making pancakes from scratch because it's just not worth it. Like, I'm not good at it. I can admit when I'm not good at something. Maybe you can't, but I can. I don't have to reinvent the wheel. But if you want to reinvent the wheel with pancakes made at home, you can try cake flour. Now let's get into the things that I personally don't think would be ever worth it to use cake flour. Basic run-of-the-mill cookies. I think a lot of cookies do not need cake flour unless it's a very soft and very tender and very delicate cookie, like those sugar cookies that we were just talking about like 2 seconds ago. Just use regular flour. In fact, some cookies, like really dense scone-like cookies, they even call to use red flour because they want the chew, they want the density. Scones, here's a hot take, okay? I'm specifically talking about American scones where it's triangular and it has like a bunch of shit in it. I think scones do perfectly well, perfectly fine, given the fat content with just all-purpose flour. I'm keeping it real. I don't think you need it, but if you have made like life-changing scones with cake flour before, please let me know. Seriously. Brownies or anything that dense, like a cookie bar, does not need cake flour. Like, you want the structure, you want the... Most muffins do not need cake flour because if you're already going out of your way to make something this big that, let's be real, you're probably gonna eat as a snack on the go. You don't need that to be like the most perfect, delicate blueberry muffin in the history of ever. So muffins, even though they're really related to cakes, they don't need it. Also, final one, hot take. Biscuit, you don't need it to be that light and airy. You need it to have rise and you need it to have some structure. Otherwise, it's just like crumbs. You're just eating crumbs and then that's not enjoyable. TLDR, anything that has like a good bite to it, anything that you kind of want good structure, and anything you want even remotely chewy, just use regular flour, use protein flour, don't use cake flour. Now let's say you do need cake flour. If you don't want to go and buy the cake flour, because let's be real, you just need a little bit of cake flour, I would recommend using a scale for this, okay? But for 1 American cup of flour, you want 105 grams of all-purpose flour and 16 grams of cornstarch. Now, I did not make this recipe up. It's all over the internet. You can scale that up or you can scale that down. And that's also the beauty of why you should use a food scale, especially for flour measuring. We can talk about that in another video. But that's that. I think that baking is just not my forte and I don't really like it. But I do it a lot and I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on my logic and my rationale, at least, for why I use certain things. So let me know if you agree or disagree with any of these. Let me know if you try out the recipe and what are some other single-use ingredients that you find that you can either forego or substitute at home, because I'm super curious about those. Let me know. Let's chat.